Chamoli district is the second largest district of Uttarakhand state of India. It is bounded by the Tibet region to the north, and by the Uttarakhand districts of Pithoragarh and Bageshwar to the east, Almora to the south, Garhwal to the southwest, Rudraprayag to the west, and Uttarkashi to the northwest. The administrative headquarters of the district is Gopeshwar. Chamoli hosts a variety of destinations of pilgrim and tourists' interest. Badrinath, Hemkund Sahib, Valley of Flowers and Orli. Chamoli also happened to be a birthplace of Chipko movement. Chamoli proved itself the most spectacular in its natural assets, be it scenery, valley aspects, water edges, floristic varieties, dramatic landform or the climatic cardinalities. The district is also inhabited by Bhotia ethnic group who adhere to Hinduism. History. The region covered by the district of Chamoli forms part of the Pauri Garhwal district of the Kumar until 1960. It occupies the northeastern corner of the Garhwal tract and lies in the central and mid-Himalayas in the very heart of the snowy range described in ancient books as Bharyagiri, one of the three divisions of the Himalayan mountains. Historical background. Chamoli, the district of Garhwal, the land of forts. Today's Garhwal was known as GDibyendu in the past. In Puranas, GDibyendu was said to be abode of God. It seems from the facts Vedas Puranas, Ramayana and Mahabharata that these Hindu scriptures are scripted in GDibyendu. It is believed the god Ganesha first script of Vedas in Vyas Gufa situated in the last village Mana only 4 km from Badrinath. According to Rigveda, after inundation Saptarishis saved the lives in the same village Mana. Besides that, the roots of Vedic literature seems to be originated from Garhwal because the Garhwali language has a lot of words common with Sanskrit. The workplace of Vedic rishis of the prominent pilgrim places in Garhwal, especially in Chamoli, like Atri Muni Ashram in Anasulya, about 25 kilometers from Chamoli town, and workplace of Kashyap Rishi at Gand Madin Parwat near Badrinath. According to Adi Puran, Vedvyasa scripted the story of Mahabharata in Vyas Gufa near Badrinath. Pandikeshwar, a small village situated on the Rishikesh-Badrinath highway from where Badrinath is just 25 kilometers away, is regarded as Tapstali of King Pandu. In GDibyendu Puran, this land is regarded the land of Lord Shiva. The authentic script about the history of Garhwal is found only 6th AD onward. Some of the oldest examples of these are the Trisul in Gopeshwar, Lalitshore in Pandikeshwar, the Navaman rock script in Siroli. The Chandpagari rock script by King Kankpal authenticates the history and culture of Garhwal. Some historians and scientists believe that this land is origin of Arya race. It is believed that about 300 BC, Khasa invaded Garhwal through Kashmir, Nepal and Cuman. A conflict grew due to this invasion. A conflict took place between these outsiders and natives. The natives, for the protection, built small forts called Gai. Later on, Khasa defeated the native totally and captured the forts. After Khasa, Kshatriya invaded this land and defeated Khasa, accomplished the regime. They confined Garhwal of hundreds of Gai into 52 Gai only. One Kantura Vasudev, general of Kshatriya, established his regime on the northern border of Garhwal and founded his capital in Joshimath. Then, Kartikepur Vasudev Katuri was the founder of Katura dynasty in Garhwal, and they reigned Garhwal over hundreds of years. In this period of Katuri regime, Adi Sankaracharya visited Garhwal and established Jyotirmath, which is one of the 4 famous peeths established by Adi Sankaracharya. In Bharat Vash, other these are Dwarika, Puri and Sringeri. He also reinstated idol of Lord Badrinath in Badrinath. Before this, the idol of Badrinath was hidden in Uttarakhand by the fear of Buddhas. After this, ethicists of Vedic cult started to pilgrim Badrinath. According to P.T. Hari Krishna Raturi, King Bhanu Pratap was the first ruler of Panwar dynasty in Garhwal who founded Chandpurgarh as his capital. This was his strongest Garh for the 52 Gars of Garhwal. The devastating earthquake of 8 September 1803 weakened the economic and administrative setup of Garhwal state. Taking advantage of the situation, Gorkhas attacked Garhwal under the command of Amar Singh Thapar and Haste idol Chanturia. They established the reign over half of the Garhwal in 1804 up to 1815. This region remained under Gorkha rule. Meanwhile, the king of Panwar dynasty Raja Sudarshan Shah contacted East India Company and sought help. With the help of British, he defected Gorkhas and merged the eastern part of Alananda and Mandakini along with the capital Srinagar in British Garhwal. From the time this region was known as British Garhwal, and the capital of Garhwal was set up at Terry instead of Srinagar. In the beginning, British ruler kept this area under Dehradun and Saharanpur, but later on the British established a new district in this area and named it Pauri. Today's Chamoli was a tehsil of the same. On the 24th of February 1960, Tehsil Chamoli was upgraded to a new district. In October 1997, two complete tehsil and two other blocks of district Chamoli were merged into a new formed district Rudraprayag. Demographics. According to the 2011 census, Chamoli district has a population of 391,114, roughly equal to the nation of Maldives. This gives it a ranking of 559th in India. The district has a population density of 49 inhabitants per square kilometre. Its population growth rate over the decade 2001 to 2011 was 5.6%. Chamoli has a sex ratio of 10:21 females for every 1,000 males, and a literacy rate of 83.48%. Geography. Chamoli, carved as a separate revenue district in 1960 out of the erstwhile Garhwal district, lies in the central Himalaya and constitutes a part of the celebrated Kedaka Kshetra. The district Chamoli is surrounded by Uttarkashi in the northwest, Pithoragarh in the southwest, Almora in the southeast, Rudraprayag in the southwest and Garhwal in the west. The geographical area of the district is around 7,520 square kilometers. Geology. The geology of the region shows that the Himalayas are the young mountains in the world. During early Mesozoic times, or the secondary geological period, the land mass now covered by them was occupied by the Great Geosynclinal Tethys Sea. The probable date of the commencement of the elevation of the Himalayas is about the close of the Mesozoic period, but the unraveling of the story of the structure has only just begun, and in many cases no dating of the rocks is yet possible, though they include ancient and relatively recent crystalline intrusive rocks and sediments allied to the peninsular part of India. The section of the range in the district is deeply cut into by the headwaters of the Almora River, this trunk stream seeming to have reached a later stage of development than its tributaries. This much, however, is known, that there has been intense metamorphosis. In some parts uplift has been considerable since the mid-Pleistocene period. In others there are great stretches of high but subdued topography, and elsewhere there are the deepest gorges. The direction of folding in these mountain masses is generally north to south. The geological feature of the district formed two major divisions, which lies north and south of an imaginary line extending east-southeast between the villages of Hilling in Joshimath and Lohake in the adjoining district of Pithoragarh. The northern division, which is occupied by higher ranges and snow-covered peaks, consists entirely of medium to high-grade metamorphic rocks and is intruded by later volcanic rocks. The division to the south, occupied by ranges of low altitude, consists essentially of sedimentary and low-grade metamorphic rock, also intruded by later volcanic rocks. Geologically, very little is known of the first division, which consists of rocks such as quartzites, marbles and various types of micaceous schists and gneisses, which are few sporadic occurrences of garnet, graphite, iron, ironite, mica and vein quartz. The division to the south of the imaginary line is better known geologically and consists of rocks such as gneisses, limestone, phyllites, quartzite, sericite, biotite schists and slates. Minerals. The minerals that are found in the district are the following. Asbestos. This is of the amazite variety and can be used for the production of asbestos cement bricks, laboratory asbestos sheet and paper, but is not considered to be of economic importance. Magnestic. This is of an average quality, as crystalline in nature, and is found associated with crystalline dolomites and sometimes with soapstone. The magnesium carbonate found here is also of average quality, and its mineralization has also been reported to occur in the district. Soapstone. Steatite. This white saponaceous stone resembling pipe clay is obtained in a lenticular body and is associated with mineral pyrites, which adds a color to it, and in places with magnesite. It can be mined for use as filler in soap and in the cosmetic industries. In the past, various utensils were made of it which, when polished, had the appearance of marble. Copper. The copper mines in the district are extensive and of reputed during the period of Hindus and the Gorkhas' rules. All the rich mines have since been exhausted, and at present they do not offer a fair field for the employment of capital. Iron. Small and sporadic occurrences of iron are known to occur in several parts of district, but are of hardly any economic importance. Iron ore, rich in hematite and magnetic ore, with hematite and siderite, also occur in the district. Graphite. In the past, this mineral, also known as plumbago, found mostly in Patti Loba, was used as a dye, but no large deposits have been noticed for a long time. Gold. Although no gold mines has been discovered in the district, the sands of Alananda and the Pindar are said to be auriferous to a limited extent. Gypsum. This mineral is found on the bank of some river and was used in the past for the manufacture of saucers and bowls. When ground to a fine powder, it is known as plaster of Paris and can be used for a number of purposes. Lead. Deposits of this metal were fairly numerous in the past, but it is found in somewhat inaccessible places and has long since ceased to be worked. Slate. This dense, fine-grained metamorphic rock, which is produced from a fine clay, can be split into thin, smooth plates and is quarried throughout the district. It is suitable for roofing purposes, the thin dark blue slates being somewhat inferior in quality. Limestone. By burning this mineral, lime is procured which can be used as mortar. There are two distinct ranges of limestone hills in the district, the first north of the Alananda in Nagpur, the second running from Aloba Patti to the Pindar and again to the Alananda in Patti Bakansayan in district Garhwal. Reserves of dolomite exists in the district, and tufaceous deposits are also found near several nullas. Building stone. Stone which can be used for building purposes is available in most parts of the district. Sandstone is found in abundance in the lower hills. Gneiss and chlorite schists which are available throughout the district are frequently used for building purposes. Sulfur. This yellow mineral, also known as brimstone, is found in the district as green sulfate of iron and is obtainable from iron pyrites and copper mines, its presence being characterized by a small as of rotten eggs. Sulfur springs also occur in many parts in the district. Bitumen, the brownish-white natural sulfate of alumina known as shilajit, is found in rocks at a fairly high altitude and occur in small lumps, which generally have an admixture of red sand and micaceous stone embedded in them. It is used in Ayurvedic medicine, and during the season when there is an influx of pilgrims, it fetches good income to those who deal in it. Some other minerals found in the district are antimony, arsenic, lignite, brown marble, mica and silver. Physiographically, the district, which lies in a region of tectonic folded and overthrust mountain chains, has strata structurally marked by complex folds, reverse faults, overthrusts and naps of great dimensions. All these, as well as frequent earthquake of varying intensity, give reason to believe that the region is still unstable. Although any movement or tremor of the Earth's crust in the district is not produced by volcanic activity, the Chowkhamba Peak appears to be the crater of an extinct volcano. Climate: as the elevation of the district ranges from 800 mts to 8,000 mts above sea level, the climate of the district very largely depends on altitude. The winter season is from about mid-November to March. As most of the region is situated on the southern slopes of the outer Himalayas, monsoon currents can enter through the valley, the rainfall being heaviest in the monsoon from June to September. Most of the rainfall occurs during the period June to September, when 70 to 80% of the annual precipitation is accounted for in the southern half of the district and 55 to 65% in the northern half. The effectiveness of the rains is, among others, related to low temperature, which means less evapotranspiration and forest vegetation cover. However, the effectiveness is neither uniform nor even positive in areas where either the vegetational cover is poor and has steep slopes of the soils have been so denuded that the moisture absorption capacity has become marginal. Rain gauging stations put up at 7 locations by Meteorological Department of Government of India represent the settled land mass of Chamoli district. Temperature: the details of temperature recorded at the meteorological observatories in the district show that the highest temperature was 34 degrees Celsius and lowest 0 degrees Celsius. January is the coldest month, after which the temperature begins to rise till June and July. Temperature vary with elevation. During the winter, cold waves in the wake of western disturbances may cause temperature to fall appreciably. Snow accumulation in valleys is considerable. Humidity: the relative humidity is high during monsoon season, generally exceeding 70% on the average. The driest part of the year is the pre-monsoon period, when the humidity may drop to 35% during the afternoon. During the winter months, humidity increases toward the afternoon at certain high stations. Cloudiness: skies are heavily clouded during the monsoon months and for short spells when the region is affected by the passage of western disturbances. During the rest of the year, the skies are generally clear to lightly clouded. Winds, owing to the nature of terrain, local effect are pronounced, and when the general prevailing wind's not too strong to mask these effects, there is a tendency for diurnal reversal of winds, the flow being anabatic during the day and katabatic at night, the latter being of considerable force. River system: Chamoli district is crisscrossed by several important rivers and the tributaries. Almora, traversing a distance of 229 kilometers. Before it confluence with Bhagirathi at Rudraprayag and constituting the Ganges, is the major river. The Almora originates at a height of 3,641 meters below Balakoon Peak, 16 kilometers. Upstream from Badrinath, it formed the two glaciers of Bhagirath Karik and Satopanth. The two glaciers rise from the eastern slopes of Chowkhamba Peak, Badrinath Peak and its satellite peaks. These peaks separates the Gangotri group of glaciers in the west. The major portion of the Allananda Basin falls in Chamoli district. From its source up to Haling, the valley is treated as Upper Allananda Valley. The remaining part of the area is known as Lower Allananda Valley. While moving from its source, the river flows in a narrow deep gorge between the mountain slopes of Alkapuri, from which it derives its name. All along its course, it drains its tributaries. 1. Saraswati joins the Allananda 9 km downstream from Mana. 2. Kilrawan Ganga joins it below the Badrinath shrine and Buinda Ganga below Hanumanchati. 3. Daliganga meets at Vishnuprayag above Joshimath. The river Daliganga rises from the Niti Pass at about 5,070 meters. Its valley lies between the Kamad groups of peaks in the west and Nanda Devi group in the east. The Dali takes a northern course at Malari. Between Malari and Tarpovan, it is almost a narrow gorge with perpendicular cliffs on either side, several thousand meters high. The Daliganga in its turn is fed by Girthiganga at Kirkuti and Rishiganga 500 meters below Reni. 4. Downstream small tributaries Heling, Garud, Patal and Barahiganga joined the Allananda between Joshimath and Chamoli. 5. Nandakini, which rises from Samudra Glacier's drainage the western slopes of Trisul Mountains, joins it at Nandprayag. 6. Southeast River Pindar joins the Allananda at Karnprayag. The Pindar River is fed by the Milam and Pindar Glacier from the Nanda Devi group of glacier. The Pindar River, before joining Allananda, is fed by Kaliganga and Beriganga. The rivers of Chamoli district generally flow with great force in steep and narrow channels, often resulting in excessive erosion and collapse of the banks. Assembly constituencies: Badrinath, Tharali, Karnprayag. Economy. In 2006, the Ministry of Panchayati Raj named Chamoli one of the country's 250 most backward districts. It is one of the 3 districts in Uttarakhand currently receiving funds from the Backward Regions Grant Fund program.